what's up? Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm giving you guys my October book haul and wrap up. So this month I have bought/received 20 books. That is a lot of books. I don't normally have this many books. I really don't know what happened this month, but I have a lot of books to show you. And then currently I have read 7 books this month, but I still got a week left in October, so I think I might be able to finish one more. So I'll let you know what that book is when I get to the wrap up. But for now, let's start with the book haul. So the first book that I have bought this month is Life and Death by Stephenie Meyer. If you guys are unaware, it was the 10th anniversary of Twilight recently, and Stephenie Meyer pulled a total Beyonce and released a whole new book without anyone knowing. Basically, it's the same exact story as Twilight, but all of the characters' genders are switched, and there is an alternate ending to Twilight, but it's not because there's a different gender, it's just because she wanted to write an alternate ending. So it really is to show that it's the same regardless of the gender, and Bella is not a damsel in distress, she's a human in distress. And it was absolutely amazing, but I read it this month, so I'm going to talk about that one in the book haul. The next book that I bought this month is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. For those of you who are fangirls of Fangirl like myself, you would probably know that Carry On just came out and the entire internet exploded. I have heard nothing but rave reviews about Carry On. I'm super excited to read it. While I was reading Fangirl, I wasn't really into the Simon Snow stuff just because I wanted to read about Kath. My focus was on Fangirl, not about Simon Snow, but I think with an entire book dedicated to Simon and Baz, I'm really going to enjoy it. The next book that I bought this month is Through the Dark by Alexandra Bracken. These are the novellas, the novella bind-up for the Darkest Minds trilogy, which if you didn't know is one of my favorites. I absolutely loved it so much, and I was so excited to get this novella. I remember when the novellas were just in ebook form, I was really upset because I didn't want to buy them on ebook, and I didn't even know that there was going to be a bind-up until pretty recently. So I pre-ordered it and I got it, and I haven't read it yet. But I cannot wait because The Darkest Minds was so good, and I'm super excited to see what these novellas are about. Then the first book that I was sent this month is Harry Potter Illustrated by J.K. Rowling. I was so excited to receive this in the mail, so thanks so much to Scholastic for sending me this. I was sent this beautiful illustrated edition of Harry Potter as part of an Instagram campaign. So I posted this cool little picture on Instagram to promote the book, and it was super cool. If you want to go like that picture, it's in the description. But I also read Harry Potter Illustrated this month, so I'm going to talk more about it in the book haul. But thanks again Scholastic for sending it to me because it was super awesome. Then the next book I was sent this month is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I didn't even know this was coming in the mail, and it came, and I got so excited. I freaked out. I was not expecting it, and I've been waiting to get my hands on an Arc of Passenger for quite a while. This is Alexandra Bracken's new book. It's coming out on January 5th, I think. And I am super excited to have it in my possession, let alone read it. I absolutely cannot wait. I know it's about time travel. I don't really know much else about it, but I think it's going to be really cool. This was sent to me by Disney Hyperion, and they also sent me a passenger notebook and a passenger label tag thingy, and they also sent me something else, but I can't remember what it was. But basically they sent me a cool little merch pack for Passenger, and it was super cool, and let alone sending me the book, which is super cool. And this month I was also sent the entire Waterfire saga by Jennifer Donnelly, which is Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, and Dark Tide, which just came out. I was sent this as part of another Instagram campaign, and I posted this cool little picture right here. So again, if you want to like that photo, it's in the description. But I've heard a lot of really good things about Deep Blue. I remember in Barnes & Noble years ago, I looked at it and I really wanted to pick it up. I just never got around to it. So now I have all 3 of the books, which is definitely going to motivate me more to read it. I also got these cool nail polish colors that match the covers, and I haven't painted my nails with them yet, but I'm going to. And it was just super awesome to receive these as well. So thanks so much to Disney Hyperion again for sending me some more awesome books this month. The next book I bought this month is Happily Ever After by Kara Cass. This is another bind-up of novellas. This is for the Selection series, and I absolutely love the Selection series, so I had to buy these novellas. I actually have 2 of them already in paperback when they were just bound together, but I had no idea it was going to be this beautiful hardcover bind-up of all of them, and special content is in it too, so I had to get it. I haven't read these yet either, but I feel like this is going to be a really nice quick read for me because the Selections went by like that, and I can't imagine novellas, which are even shorter, how fast they're going to go by. But I love a Selection, and I know I'm going to love these novellas. Then the next book I was sent this month is DC Trip by Sarah Benincasa. This book was sent to me by Adaptive Books, so thanks so much for giving me a copy. This is an ARC. It comes out November 3rd, and I am super excited to read it. Basically, this is about a woman named Alicia who is a chaperone for a high school trip to Washington, D.C. And basically, a lot of crazy shit happens on this trip to Washington, D.C. All I know is that there's bars and drag queens. I'm pretty sure there was something about blowjobs in the book trailer. Side note, it was a really, really cool book trailer, so I'm going to link the book trailer below because that really is what made me want to read this book. But it seems like super raunchy and like a really funny contemporary. And apparently the author is actually a comedian, so like I think the humor in this book is going to be really great. So this is definitely going to be the book I pick up next, and I'm super, super excited to read it and review it. So keep an eye out for a review of DC Trip coming on my channel very soon. Then the next book I bought this month is another copy of City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This makes it number 5, guys, and then they just released the Shadowhunters TV cover, which is going to make it 6. What the heck is going on with me? Basically, it wasn't my intention to buy this book. I had the new cover of City of Bones, and God knows I have more than enough copies, but I was going to go to Barnes & Noble just to read the special content, because in the back of this special collector's edition from Barnes & Noble, they have Jace's perspective of the pandemonium scene, the first scene in the book from Jace's perspective. And I was like, okay, I need to read this. So I was going to go to Barnes & Noble, just sat down, made myself a little comfy on the shelves, and I read it, and I cried. And then I was like, I have to buy it. I can't not have this on my shelf. And then also in the beginning, which is really cool, there's a map of different places in City of Bones, and as somebody who lives really close to New York City, I want to go to all of these places, but they have things like the fairy courts and Hunter's Moon and Taki's and the cemetery and like Clary's apartment and Magnus's apartment, and they're all like on a map of New York City and Manhattan and stuff, and I'm super, super excited for that. But it was totally worth it to buy because, you know, I have enough copies of City of Bones. I've said this a million times already. But this one has the special content and it has the map, and so I'm really happy that I did buy it. And let's do more Cassandra Clare, because this month I bought the Infernal Devices new box set by Cassandra Clare. Jeez, what the heck is wrong with me? My bank account hates me, and Cassandra Clare hates us both. So I bought the new covers for the Mortal Entrance, and it's like I couldn't not buy the new box set for the Infernal Devices, considering I just reread the Infernal Devices and loved them. So I bought them, and now they have the pretty spines and these pretty covers, and they're in the nice little box sets. It's another purchase that was worth it to me. Any money spent on Cassandra Clare's books, regardless of if I have them or not, is worth it to me. So I'm really happy that I got the new covers. And the next couple of books I bought this month are the first 3 volumes of Death Note, the manga, who is by Suzumi Oba. Sure. But basically one night I was feeling pretty down, and I asked my boyfriend to take me to Barnes & Noble, and him being a great boyfriend took me to just fangirl over books for a while. And so we both just watched Death Note together this month. I had set it in my September favorites. I'd watched it, and so I had known that it was a manga, and I don't read manga, but I really wanted to give it a shot, especially because I loved Death Note. So I wasn't really expecting to go in there and buy them, because the box set of all of the editions is like 75 bucks on Amazon. But then I realized that they have these really awesome black covers, and you know, black, matte black, and books, like, they were made for me. So I had to get the first 3 volumes. I refrained from buying all 6. I'll eventually get to the last 3. But I know I'm going to really love these because I love the show. I hear the manga's even better. And I'm really excited to read a manga for the first time because I read graphic novels, not a huge fan of graphic novels, but we'll see how manga goes, especially in a manga that I know I'm going to love. But like, look at it, like all of the pages are black on the edges. It's so cool. Then the next book I have this month is Binge by Tyler Oakley. I love Tyler Oakley, as everyone does. I remember pre-ordering this at VidCon. It was Disney Day, and we were online for like Thunder Mountain. I'm really upset because Tyler Oakley was in my area twice this past week for his book launch, and I couldn't go to either of them. But I have it, and that's really exciting, so I'm definitely excited to read it, and I'm going to be picking it up soon. Then the next book that I bought this month is The Finisher by David Baldacci. I went to a signing for Cassandra Clare and Helby Black this month, which was super exciting. If you want to see that whole experience, I will link the vlog that I made for that whole day below. But David Baldacci was there with them, and just normal signing business. They had a panel, they were talking about their books, and then he signed it. So I decided that I really wanted to get his book because the synopsis sounded really cool, so he signed it for me, and it was super cool to meet him. I remember I was calling my dad later, and I was telling him about the signing, and I had never heard of David Baldacci before this, but he was like, I know David Baldacci, you met him, that's awesome, like, he's so famous. He's written a lot of books. I don't know if anyone else hasn't heard of him, but I haven't. But his Finisher series sounds really, really good. It's like a sci-fi dystopian. So basically this girl named Vega Jane lives in this really tiny town, and for all of her life she's been told that nobody can go beyond the town. Like if you leave the town, you're basically like gonna die, and there's no coming back from that. and one day somebody from the town leaves, and rather than leaves, he's actually chased, and so Vega Jean kind of like follows the clues outside of this town called Wormwood and into a world that she's never seen before. So it sounds super, super cool. I've heard good things about it, even though like I just started like looking up things about the finisher recently. It looks really, really cool, and I'm definitely going to be reading this one soon. And then the final book that I bought this month is Every Day by David Levithan. David Levithan was actually the moderator for the panel at the Cassandra Clare, Holly Black, and David Baldacci signing, and I didn't even know that he was going to be there until I got there, so I was like, okay, I can't like not buy one of his books. That's the way I am with book signings. I'm like, if I don't know you and like you're there with my favorite authors, like I'm gonna buy your other book and I want to meet you and see what your book's about. So I've heard nothing but good things about David Levithan's books, and I actually have Will Grayson, Will Grayson by him and John Green that I haven't read yet, but he signed it for me as well, and it says, "For Emma, live every day in wonder, David Levithan." And I am just super, super excited to read this book. I don't know why I haven't picked up David Levithan books yet, but I hear nothing but good things about them. So I thought it was super cool to meet him and to finally get a chance to pick up one of his books. Now, finally, we move on to the wrap-up, because that took way too long. The first book that I read this month is called Petty Little Lives, and that is by Alice Reeds. I was sent a copy of this book to review, and that review is going to be up very soon. But I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of problems with it in the beginning, specifically with like the writing and the plot, but everything really resolved at the end, and I had so much fun reading it. Like, I didn't want it to end, and I didn't want to stop reading. So definitely check out that spoiler-free review that's coming soon, because I really think it's a contemporary that like everyone can love. So Petty Little Lives is about a girl named Roxana and a girl named Sapphire, who are cousins that have never met before, but their mothers both send them to their aunt's house for the summer, so they have to live on a farm. And so Roxana is super quiet and introverted and likes like music and internet and books, and then Sapphire is an entitled rich kid. She's from Los Angeles, she's a model, so they kind of clash at first, and it's really going to be difficult for them to become friends, but then there is this big revelation of this big secret that nobody knew about. And so from there, things really start to fall into place, and they realize that the summer might not be as lonely as they thought. So I had so much fun reading it. I really, really recommend it, and if you want to hear more about my thoughts on that book, you should definitely check out the review, because it's coming soon. Then the next book I read this month was Harry Potter Illustrated by J.K. Rowling. So this month I had finished my Goodreads challenge. Oh, I forgot to talk about that in my favorites video. Boo! So I had set a reading challenge on Goodreads for this year for 75 books, and I completed it. So I decided I wanted to reward myself with a reread of Harry Potter, and what better way to start off a reread than to read a completely new edition, so that's what I did. I don't know if you guys have seen the artwork in these books, but like, come on, guys, like, this is gorgeous. It's so, so beautiful. Like, look, that's Hagrid's hut. Imagine the rest of the book, because all throughout the book there's art like it everywhere. But it was super cool to read a book that I've been reading for years in a totally new edition with illustrations that kind of bring the book even more to life than it ever was for me. So it was really, really great to read, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the next book I read this month was The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. As I stated before, I went to her signing, and of course I got it signed. So I had read The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black before, and I had read The Iron Trial, but I felt like I really wanted to read another book before I met her, because I had enjoyed both of the things that I had read from her, but I've heard nothing but good things about The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. So I read it, and it was freaking amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was a really, really phenomenal urban fantasy book, and I loved it so much. As you can tell by all these fun little page flags, I'm going to be reviewing it soon, so that one, check out that review when it comes as well. But this was such a great read for me. I had so much fun reading it. I think it's going to be one of my favorites of the year. I'm not sure what my favorite books of the year are yet, but I really, really enjoyed this one. And also, this completed my TBR challenge for last month. If you guys had watched my September book haul and wrap up, you might have known that my TBR challenge for that month was to read a book that had been on my shelf for more than 6 months or a year, and I didn't complete it last month, but I completed it this month because this book was sent to me by Kat from Katie Tastic about year and a half ago-ish, because I had won one of the Booktubeathon 2014 challenges, and this was the giveaway book, so it has been a while since Booktubeathon 2014, so it qualified for that TBR challenge, so I finished it, and I'm almost totally on track with my TBR challenge for the year, but The Coldest Girl in Cold Town was amazing, and if you haven't picked it up yet, you really, really need to. Then the next book that I read this month is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. I decided that while doing this read-along, I don't want to just marathon it, because then it's going to be too condensed, even though it would be like great to just read nothing but Harry Potter for a long period of time. I felt like I needed to throw some other books in there, so I'm reading Harry Potter, another book, Harry Potter, another book, Harry Potter, another book. So this was the third book that I chose to read for that, and I loved it so much. It was so great. The Chamber of Secrets is definitely my least favorite Harry Potter book, and I feel like I'm not alone in that. But rereading it again, of course, it gets better every single time just because I'm noticing new things and I'm just appreciating the text more. It was a really great reread for me. Then the next book that I read this month was Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. I really summed up everything I wanted to say about Life and Death beforehand. Again, page flags, I'm going to add more because I'm going to review it because I had so much fun reading it. I've heard some really nasty reviews on this book, and that's not okay. Everyone's complaining that it's the same book. Yeah, Stephanie Meyer said it was supposed to be the same book. It's the same book with the gender switch. And the good thing about this book is that if you like Twilight and you had problems with it, I can guarantee you they're fixed in this book. While there are certain chunks of dialogue that's the same and whole paragraphs of Bella, or in this book, Beaufort's thoughts. But if you like Twilight the first time around, why is it going to be different? Because if anything, the characters and the plot and the writing are all better now. There is so much improvement, and I'm going to talk more about it in my review, and the ending was crazy and super interesting. So I'm going to talk all about that in the review when I get to it. So, you know, I mentioned like 5 reviews that are coming to my channel soon, and that's what's going to happen. But Life and Death was so good, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because, you know, Twihards for life. Then the next book that I read this month is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. Really enjoyed this one this time around. I've always loved The Prisoner of Azkaban. It's definitely really high up there on my favorite Harry Potter books. But I don't know what it was about this time, like I just really enjoyed it. I was super immersed in the world again. You know, I've read Harry Potter nearly 17 times now. I lost count. It's somewhere in between 12 and 17. But I love Harry Potter and I love rereading them, and I'm so glad I actually remembered to reread it this year, because every year I say to myself, I want to read Harry Potter at least once this year. And like the Mortal Instruments, of course I'm going to read once a year too, but I had almost forgotten to read Harry Potter this year, and I'm so glad I remembered because now I'm just loving life for reading Harry Potter. Then this month I also read the new Mortal Instruments novella, which was Born to Endless Night, and that's clearly by Cassandra Clare. And I really enjoyed this one too. I think The Fiery Trial is still my favorite, and I don't think the last novella is going to beat it because it was amazing. But Born to Endless Night was definitely up there. It was super cool. Again, can't really go into, you know, everything about it because not a lot of people have read those novellas, which, by the way, what the heck are you doing with your life? If you loved The Mortal Instruments and you love The Infernal Devices, why haven't you read these novellas? What the heck is wrong with you? But this one was super entertaining. It was super funny. She made references to the fandom and like ship names, which I really like. This one is focused on like Magnus more than usual. So my mom, who absolutely adores Magnus, I'm making her read all of the novellas so she can just read this one. But it was super great. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. And so that really concludes my wrap up. There is still about a week left in October, and so I feel like I do have the potential to be able to finish a book since then, so I want to just throw it in here. I normally film my book hauls and wrap-ups like after the month because I hate being in situations like this where the month isn't over and I'm like, well, I haven't finished this book yet, or like I think I have time to finish it. But I am going to try and finish DC Trip by Sarah Benincasa before the month is over. But again, it sounds super cool, super raunchy, super entertaining, and super funny, and I think it'll be like a nice little break between like the, you know, the world of Harry Potter, which is so intense, and, you know, the cold weather. Like, I'm dying for like a fun summery contemporary, and that's what I think DC Trip will be. So if you're interested, again, check out that trailer because it's like super simplistic, but I really enjoyed it, and maybe you guys will want to read the book more. And if you do want to read the book, make sure you check out that review because it's coming soon. But that is really it for my book haul and wrap up of October 2015. There is one more thing that I gotta do this month. So I had already mentioned that the Coldest Girl in Cold Town completed my challenge from September. Unfortunately, I didn't complete this month's challenge. I keep like backtracking and I hate it. So this month's challenge was to read a non-fiction book, and so I bought Tyler Oakley's book, and that's a non-fiction book, so I was gonna read it, but it came so late in the month, and DC Trip is more like higher on my TBR for now because I have to review it. But I'm definitely reading Binge next month, so that challenge will most definitely be completed, and now we gotta pick my last one. Well, it's not my last one, it's my newest challenge, but we'll see which one we pick. There's only gonna be 2 more left, right? 2 more. I'm like not ready. There's like a big one that has a lot of writing on it, and I think I'm gonna have to pick it. Let's see. Read a book you found from BookTube. Oh, this one's gonna be easy. That's almost every book I own. Let's see. I always like to give like an idea of what I'm gonna read even if I don't actually pick it up. What's high on my TBR? Probably one of the books that I bought this month, whether it be Happily Ever After or like The Darkest Minds, Novellas Through the Dark, because both of those series I read from BookTube, so I picked up the novellas from BookTube. Maybe I'll pick up Carry On, not really sure yet. Every Day is another good choice because that one I wouldn't have known about without BookTube. So I have like a lot of books that I can pick from for this month's challenge, so I think I can definitely get that one completed and last month's challenge for a nonfiction book. That is officially it for this gigantic book haul and wrap up. Is anyone still watching? Because I wouldn't blame you, because there are way too many books to show in that freaking book haul. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new one. Bye!